You keep waiting for something to shift, for someone to notice, for some invisible permission to act. But nothing comes. And slowly, that hope you hold turns into weight. A silence begins to grow around you, not loud, but present. A silence that says, "This is yours now." You start to look around, for someone to tell you it's okay, that you're allowed to begin, that you're ready. But the room is empty. The sky stays quiet. No doors swing open. No signs appear. Nothing. And maybe for the first time, you realize no one is coming. And it doesn't feel like freedom at first. It feels like loss, like you've been lied to, like the world promised something and forgot to deliver. But stay in that silence just a little longer, because underneath that grief, there's something waiting. Not a rescue, not a savior, but a decision. You've been told that someone out there is responsible for you. Your teachers, your parents, your government. You grew up thinking life was a series of support systems. But now, you're standing in a space where no one holds the rope. No net, no hand, just air and you. And here's the thing they don't tell you. That space, that terrifying space, is where you find what you're made of. Because in that silence, the excuses run out. You can't blame them anymore. You can't stall. There's only one question left. What now? This is the moment most people run from. They turn back. They tell themselves they're not ready. They wait for motivation to return, for the fear to fade. But all they're really doing is losing time. You're still here. And that means something. There's a voice in you. You've heard it before, usually when things get quiet. It says things like, "Why bother? Who do you think you are? It won't work. It's too late." It doesn't shout. It whispers, but its whispers are heavy. And if you let it, it will sit on your back for years. It will guide your decisions without you even realizing it. That voice is not truth. It's not insight. It's just the echo of every moment you hesitated and got hurt. It's your history trying to become your future. You don't need to fight that voice. You just have to see it for what it is. A reflection of the version of you that no longer serves you. And once you see that, you can choose not to listen. Not with anger, but with clarity. Nobody sees the small moments, the quiet ones. When you get up at 5 a.m., not because you're inspired, but because you said you would. When you close the app, not because you're bored, but because you're done numbing yourself. That's where the rebuild begins. Not when people cheer, not when it's trending, when it's just you, in a quiet room, choosing to be better, even if no one ever knows. You won't get credit for most of it. No one's handing out medals for the inner work. But you'll know. You'll feel the shift. Slow, steady, unshakable. Because real change doesn't look loud. It looks boring, disciplined, invisible. But when it shows up, everything around you changes too. You'll think it's not working, because no one says anything. No one texts you, "I see your effort." No one pulls you aside to say, "I'm proud." And yet, you're different now. The way you walk, the way you respond, the way you sit with discomfort, and don't run from it. That's growth. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need a title. Progress is not something you show off. It's something you carry. Quietly. With weight. With presence. Some days you'll feel like nothing is happening. But in reality, everything is happening. At some point, they'll notice something's different. They won't say it out loud, but they'll look longer. Pause when you speak. Adjust themselves when you enter the room. They won't understand how you got here. They weren't with you in the early mornings, or the long nights, or the battles you fought silently in your own head. But now, something in you is different. More grounded, less reactive. Still, you didn't get louder, you got clear. And clarity carries a weight most people aren't used to. You don't need to be understood. You need to be undeniable. There's a kind of power that doesn't need noise. It doesn't need a stage. It doesn't ask for attention. It just is. It shows up in how you carry yourself, in how you don't flinch under pressure, in how you choose discipline over comfort, again and again. This power doesn't shout. It's not decorated. But it's the kind of power that lasts. Most people burn bright for a season. But you're building something slow, stable, unshakable. No one sees the foundation. But one day, they'll feel what it holds. So now you know. No one is coming. No one owes you clarity. No one owes you energy. No one owes you belief, and maybe that's not a curse. Maybe that's the moment everything changes. Because if no one's coming, that means it's yours now. All of it. Your discipline, your focus, your pain, your rise. You don't have to wait to feel ready. You don't have to wait for them to believe. You only need to decide that the silence is enough. That you don't need noise to begin. That you don't need praise to continue. That you don't need a savior to become the thing you were always meant to be.